Hi guys, how's it going? Today I'm going to talk about how manifestation is always instant based on quantum physics. So let's get started. But before I start the video, I just want to say that this is my interpretation of how manifestation works. I'm still doing my own research and understanding how this whole phenomenon works, right? Since I'm not religious, I cannot really understand Neville. If you have been in the manifestation sphere, right, you know that there are different ways that people understand it. Some people say that it's prayer. Jim Carrey talks about how he would come home and pray and then his prayers would come true. And that's how he became the famous actor that he is. So that could be like belief in prayer and belief in the universe, right? And then if you've read Joseph Murphy or Neville Goddard, you would know that they talk a lot about the subconscious mind or imagination is reality. And Neville Goddard uses the Bible, and it's a really good interpretation of the Bible, I would say, to understand how it works. And for me, since I'm not religious, I'm a logical person, I study philosophy. So for me, manifestation was always like a hiccup, right? That I couldn't understand. It was always like, oh, what's the reason? Why is it working? Because it is working, right? I have proved it to myself that it works because there's so many things. And it's not like just, oh, you think about something and it works. It's not that at all. At all, at all. This is why I get so sad when a lot of philosophy students make fun of it, because there's more to it and we should be open to learning and new ideas all the time. And since I myself and so many other people have really experienced it themselves in their life, I could only say that it's stupid to think that this isn't something that really could be true. There's also a lot of other theories that I could refer to, but in this video, I'm just gonna make it really simple for you and just use one topic, one little thing from quantum physics, which is superposition, and explain how I think that's how manifestation works and that's how we shift instantly. So, what I think is happening is that all creation has already been done. So, what happens in superposition is that the particle, let's say an electron, is in multiple states at the same time. So, it's both positive and negative, and it stays in superposition until it's observed, right? Now, this is not just observing as, oh, you look at it. It's a little more complicated than that, which is why I don't want physics students being like, oh, that doesn't mean just because you look at it. I understand that, but I'm just using this as an example of how I think we work as humans. So nobody can understand quantum physics, quantum mechanics. Nobody understands how these things work because why is it in superposition? Like Schrodinger's cat. Do you guys know about Schrodinger's cat? You don't have to know about Schrodinger's cat, but I'm just going to explain. There's this famous experiment where there is a cat trapped in a box with a poison, and there's a 50-50 chance of that poison being released. So now you don't know if the cat in the box is alive or dead until you open the box. Now, what superposition says is that the cat is both alive and dead at the same time until the box is opened. Alright, does that make sense? Now, how does this all tie into manifestation? Now, what I think is happening is that just like how the cat is in superposition, so are we. We are vibrating, right? Always choosing some state, some reality to live in. So, in my understanding, every reality, every experience, every situation that we can conceive of has already been created and it does exist at this very point. There is no time. Time is what's conceived by us. There is no time. And everything exists at this moment. Everything. And as soon as the wave function collapses, which is our subconscious mind choosing a reality, that's when we shift into that reality. Let me just give you a really easy day-to-day example. If I think that coffee is good for me, but today I don't think coffee is good for me. So I am in this reality where caffeine isn't good for me, right? But then if I just change my subconscious thought, and subconscious thought is not conscious thought, it's deeper. So to construct that subconscious belief, we have to consciously think about it at least, right? So if I keep thinking that, yeah, if I decide that caffeine is actually not bad for me and it's good for me, I instantly shift into the reality where I won't be able to see that change, but I just shifted. I just shifted into a reality where I am good with caffeine and it isn't bad for me. Now, to stay in this reality, I just have to maintain this belief and that's it. Which is why Neville said that persist and no looking back. You cannot, I guess, you cannot serve two masters. You cannot be in two states at the same time. That's it. That's all I wanted to talk about today. I will look more in depth into this topic and try to figure out more and more about manifestation and how it really works and see how other people think. And yeah, please comment down your thoughts, what you think about this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.